Hello, everyone. This is Faye, and I sell Medicare plans. Today, I want to talk about how to create an event. Events, activities, you actually need these on an ongoing basis so that you're able to run your business year round, particularly now during the ROI, what we call the rest of the year. You need to have events going on weekly, different events going on, different activities that you are attending. Why do you need to have events? Why should you have activities? Because you need to be in front of people to let them know who you are and what you do. That's the purpose of an event. The purpose of an event or an activity is only to let people know who you are and what you do. And the more events that you're able to do, the more activities that you can do where you're in front of more than one person at a time, then the more people will get to know who you are and know you better, know how you are in a position to really help them. So, what is an event? Actually, it's known by many names, and one of the most important ones is grassroots marketing. Grassroots marketing is marketing and activities, events, fairs that are done generally within 30 miles of your resident zip code. It could even be educational events, one-on-ones, education about prescription drug costs, education about the effects of heart attack and stroke, education about anything that's going to be related to receiving benefits. And where would you look to find to have these events? Senior centers come to mind right away. Community centers come to mind right away. Churches come to mind right away. Of course, you want to look in those 55 plus communities where they have clubhouses. It's a very private community. Everyone in the community knows each other. The word can spread very easily that there's something going on in the clubhouse at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. Any of those type communities you really want to look for. You also want to check with the park and recreation facilities in your town and in the surrounding towns within that 30-mile radius. Different small towns have different park and recreational facilities where you might be able to hold events. There's also places within these communities where Meals on Wheels deliver lunches. Of course, your event can't be during the time that people are there for their lunch, but most often they get there ahead of time, and after lunch they leave. So you want to plan your activity before the Meals on Wheels lunch is delivered or served. Another place that you might look to hold events and activities where you can meet people would be the local library. And don't forget, all of these plans, most of these plans, even some of the Medicare supplement plans have discounts that include fitness centers. So if people are going to the fitness center, you know that's where they're going to be. Grab a pack of 24 small waters, have them cold and in a cooler, and go by and drop them off and let people know who you are. Introduce yourself. So, those are just some places, some ideas of where you might be able to find um, access to get to a venue to actually plan your event. Now, in planning your event, these are the steps that you're going to do. The first thing is define the time, the days that you are available. Because when you get with someone and you're able to actually talk to them about an event, you want to be able to know when you're available, because you don't want to have to go back and forth or come back again. Your goal right now is to set one event at a time, one event where you can see 10 to 20 people at one time. This is going to save you time, but it's also going to get you in front of people. So define the days and times that you're available, but be flexible wherever you can. Be flexible if you meet with a facility and they say we only have a Thursday open, but you were planning on Wednesday. See if you can't work around that and go on Thursday, because that's the only time that they have available for you. And your goal is to set up and create this event. Make a list of the places, all of the places in the categories that I named before that are within 30 miles of your resident zip code. So now the senior centers are more than likely going to be well known in the communities. And when you meet someone who is in charge of a senior center, ask them, what other senior centers in the area do they know? What other areas within the city or the town where you are there places where seniors are actually gathering? Talk to them about community centers. Ask them who attends the community centers. When do they attend the community centers? What activities are on the monthly calendar? Many of the senior centers and community centers are actually looking for ways to entertain the people who are coming there. Many of the Meals on Wheels places are actually looking for ways to entertain the people who are coming there for their meals, so they don't just come for the meals and then go home. So make sure that you're connecting all of these dots. Look at the churches. And once you find a church that is affiliated with another church, a sister church, a church of the same denomination, ask, who should you get in touch with? Is it the pastor? Do they have a senior ministry? Who should you contact in order to speak to someone about actually talking to the people who are in the church who may be in your Medicare target audience? When you are looking at the cities for park and recreational facilities, ask the people in the office at the city, what kind of events are usually done there? When are they usually done? What times a day? What days have better attendance, do you think? What are some suggestions that you might have that I can do to attract the seniors in the community? Ask the same questions of the local librarian. Your local library has different organizations that assist the library. So for educational events, some of them will allow you to bring food in and others will not, but some will also allow you to have educational events and some will not. But find out. Most of them will allow education, but will charge if it's a sales event. And the event that you want to do is definitely going to be an educational event. At the fitness center, you know you've got a captive audience. These are people who may be there because of Silver Sneakers or because of Renew Active. So when you are there and you have something to pass out, but you also have your contact information to pass out to ask if there are any questions. Is there anything you can help them with? Has anybody had problems with their prescription drugs? This is the time of year when people with Medicare supplements are seeing increases in their benefits and the cost may be coming prohibitive. So it's a time to review to see if they have a special election to look at something else, or if they are ones that you're going to put on your AEP list. So if you're unsure where to look for any activities, any venues for activities or events in your area, try just searching Google. Try a Google search. Use the terms senior activities near me and see what comes up. You'd be surprised at the things that are listed. You may even get a listing in those communities that have clubhouses. So Google online, do a search, but make sure that you have a full list that you can start to work with to start either calling or going in person. Now, on the list, you're going to want to have the name of the facility, the center. You want to have the address, the telephone number, and if there is an email, you want to have that as well. My suggestion is that you go to visit these places in person. It makes a better impression when you're introducing yourself to meet someone and let them know that you'd like to come in and help with socializing with the people that are there, just so that they can get to know you, that you are a part of the community. This is the third thing that you're going to do. You're going to actually start to contact each of the places that you have on your list. Now, you could have a list of 10, 30, 40 different places, depending on where you are in the country. But you have to start with whatever you have on your list. You can expand that by always asking those people if they know anyone else or if they know of any other places. But spend time visiting the places, preferably in person. You'll tend to get better responses by showing up and letting people know who you are and what you do. But ask questions. Ask the person that you meet when you actually go out, or if you're on the phone, what's the best time to talk to them? What's the best time to sit down for about 10 or 15 minutes? Because you'd like to find out what kind of activities and events their audience likes to do. So when you go out and you're now contacting this list of people, either in person or by phone, first, introduce yourself. Hello, my name is Faye, and I'm an insurance broker in this area. I actually live in Polk County, so I'm aware of the benefits that are available for people here in the area. I attended Jones High School. Have been living here for a good number of years. I'm actually a native Floridian, but I've lived in other states as well. Let them know that you have a connection in the community. Drop the name of your high school, or drop the name of your church, or drop the name of something in the community so that the person you're talking to knows that you are connected in the community. Mention how long you've actually lived in the community. Let them know that you know the area, you know the doctors, you know the pharmacist, you know the hospitals, and you know the plans that are available in the area. Don't spend a lot of time talking about you, because this initial contact is for you to gather information about the person, about the facility, and your goal. Don't lose sight of your goal. Your goal is to book an event. So now you should be booking that event for 4 to 6 weeks out, because in other videos, I'm going to be telling you about how to actually set up for those events, how to market for those events. But right now, we're just trying to set a date and a time for an event. So mention that, of course, you live in the community. I've already said that. And these are some of the questions that you're going to ask of the person that you're talking to. You're going to ask them, do they have activities there regularly? Has any other insurance brokers been in, or do they come in? How often do they come in? Are there any openings for you to do any events with the group? What type activities do they generally have? Are they usually educational? Are they looking for education events, or are they looking for fun events? What are they actually looking for that will help their customers? Ask them, what is it that they actually want you to do? Perhaps you can put it together, because remember now, we haven't gotten into what activity you're going to do or what that event is going to be called. We're only setting the date and the time for this activity. We're going to get into what that activity is in other videos. So you're also going to ask, when they have an event, how well are their events attended? Are they generally the same people, or would they like to draw new people into the center or into the facility so that they have more people attending? How could you help them to get more people into their facility? You want to know what it is that that facility actually does for the community. Ask, have they done anything like a veggie and fruit giveaway? Is that a good idea? Has anyone else done that recently? Ask them, does the group like to play games? Ask them, does the group like to hear music? Maybe you could do a 50s, 60s musical thing where they guess different songs or different TV shows from that era, and the person that gets the answers correctly win a prize. Would that be fun? Asked, are there other insurance professionals that come there to do the events? What type events have they done? You may find that other insurance professionals have been there, but they don't come there anymore. So now you can become the regular person that they know. Ask what days and times, or if they have social activities, are they expecting the same people to every activity? Are the activities daily? Are they weekly? Are they once a month? How often do they really have activities? Ask, do they have a monthly birthday party for everybody who has a birthday during that month? And if they don't, that's an excellent idea to get everybody to come out and have some cake with you, some cupcakes for a birthday, and play some games. Um, Ask them, don't forget, this is very important. Ask, for the community or for the audience or for the people who attend this senior center, how do they communicate things that are going to happen? Is it a weekly newsletter? Is it an email? Is it a monthly newsletter for a neighborhood, a 55 plus community that maybe has a blanket email distribution? How do they get word out about things in the community? How do they get the word out about rent increases, maybe? Then that's how the best way to communicate other things. You now want to know, is there a date and a time that's available for you to do an activity? Your goal is to book that first activity or event. Once you have booked that first one, then you want to continue, because now that we're in what we call the rest of the year, you probably don't want to do as many activities per venue as you will do when AEP comes. So the goal is to book one event. We'll cover what that event will look like in another segment, but this is about creating that one event, getting the nerve to get away from your fears, get out of your own shadow, make your list, and just start to ask. Just ask. Once you have that event booked, you will know the steps and you will repeat them. The questions that you're going to ask will come naturally as you do this more and more and more. or as you do it over and over and over. So the immediate goal is to book one event a week during the ROI. And then during AEP, the goal is to have one venue per day to attend, with an ultimate goal of being in two places per day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. It's making it so much easier for you if you have already created the relationship with these venues and these places, so you have a combination of things to do during the AEP. Now, if you break this down and you have an event, one from 9 to 12, and then one from 1 to 3 or 4 in the afternoon during the AEP, that means that you're going to be in front of at least minimally 6 people a day. And if you're in front of 6 people a day, you're going to write 3 to 4 applications per day. That's a small amount based on what your potential will be if you have enough events scheduled. So there's a checklist for creating the event and activity that is free to you. You watch this YouTube video, and I am asking you if anything in here was helpful for you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel. Let me know in your comments that there was one thing that stood out. Also, let me know if there are any questions that you have. But go ahead, you'll see the checklist listed in the comments, in the description, and you can get that checklist so that you can have it. It'll be much easier than having to listen to the recording. You'll have like 8 steps, 8 things that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bullets that you'll know that you need to do in order to create your first event, your first activity. Get out of your shadow. You can do it. This is Faye, and I sell Medicare plans.